Hi, Todd VanDenburg here with VanDenburg Capital Management and another Uncommon Sense update. So it's nearing the end of October, and after September being a fairly disappointing month, October appears to have come back and recovered nicely. Unless something happens here in the next couple of days, we expect reasonable gains in October, and the data still leads us to believe that we still have some upside room in the markets through the balance of the year. Now, our opinion could change, economic indications could change, but based upon what we see right now, we are expecting the markets to continue to improve through the balance of the year. But that's not what I wanted to talk about today. Today, I wanted to mention the GDP number that was just released. It came out at 2%, which really doesn't sound good. And the reality is that it's not amazing. It wasn't as good as the experts, air quotes experts, thought that it might be, but they didn't miss it by much. I mean, 2-ish%, 2.1%, whatever. A 2% number is not a great GDP growth number, but we really have to think about why is that number not 3, 4, or 5, we shouldn't expect to see GDP growth rates like we saw as we were recovering out of the pandemic. But a 3 or a 4% GDP growth rate, why aren't we seeing those? And the reality is that these supply chain issues are real, and that's actually what gives us some one thing that gives us some positive feelings about what the future might hold, because businesses that need to sell their products to us can't survive if their products are sitting on a ship off the coast of Long Beach. So there's lots and lots of ships out there, and as we address these supply chain issues, then we're going to see more and more goods and services making it into the marketplace. We'll see prices start to stabilize a bit. We'll see GDP continue to grow. And so, this low GDP number is not a huge concern for us. And there's one other indicator that I want to talk about that sort of bolsters why I'm not pessimistic about a 2% GDP number. And it's just one data point. There's many others, but it's a really easy one for people to understand, and that's box office receipts. Now, during the height of the pandemic, box office receipts had fallen by like 95%. I mean, nobody was going to the movies. I actually want to know who the 5% were that were going to the movies, because you couldn't find a theater that was even open. But I digress. Well, box office receipts over the last month are up over 100%. And that's a really good indication that, people are starting to come to grips with, all right, the whole, not enough people are vaccinated and all this kind of stuff. People are actually starting to come to grips with, all right, so I know what the risks are. I'm going to go do something that I think is a relatively low risk proposition. Maybe they're fully vaccinated, maybe they got a booster shot, whatever, or maybe they're just rolling the dice. But in any case, box office receipts up 100% month over month says to me that we, the people, are really starting to venture out into the real world a little more. And we're going to watch the other economic indicators to see if, in addition to spending money at movies, okay, are people, once the supply chain issues are addressed, are they buying more things at the stores that might be around the movie theaters? So right now, companies are working frantically to address the supply chain issues and get more of the stuff that's sitting in boats off the coast of Long Beach into their stores and available to consumers. And as long as that process continues to work its way through, we expect to see the GDP growth rate to grow modestly more than 2% in the fourth quarter, which it's super early to be projecting the fourth quarter GDP, but we don't expect it to be below 2%, given the sort of pent up demand and the fixes to the supply chain that are being worked really hard right now. So long story short, the markets are doing well. Your portfolios should be doing well. The economy's starting to recover. The one big thing that we do have somewhat of a worry about is at this point, inflation is more than anybody wants it to be, and the Federal Reserve's really got to start taking some action to start to control, get inflation under control, and start easing up on their monetary policy. Because if they don't, we could be in a fairly high inflationary period for an extended period of time, and that's no fun for anybody. With the possible exception of Social Security recipients, because they just received news that because inflation has been high, next year they're getting a 5.9% pay increase. So inflation's not good, but it's not all bad either, because as inflation comes back down, Social Security recipients still get to keep that 5.9% pay increase. So if anybody has any questions about this or any other financial matter, please just reach out to me. I'm always available. You can post a message to this update. You can send me an email, give me a call. I'm happy to help in any way that I can. But that was your update. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give us a like, give us a share, and I'll be back again soon with another Uncommon Sense update. Thanks for watching.
If you'd like to be the first to hear of more Uncommon Sense updates like these, please click the subscribe button below. We'd really appreciate it. Thanks again.